liberation to stand in this prison. Voices of my choices, ambiguous ambition. Roaming in the home of the fall, true spirit. Many say they answered the call, but don't hear it. It's the Black Messiah, made in love, here to grow. Fan the fire, so cold I make it snow. Call me sire, no fold in my soul. Expanding higher, as above, so below. Till my last breath, living cause I'm a lifer. 7 on the chest like easy money sniper. Essence of the crest shines and entice ya. Presence in the nation, they name it divine cipher. I've been gone, know it's a circling back. Generational curses, yeah, we working on that. ASAP, get the dough, call it Lucci. Nalo stay strapped like big snow round Gucci. More Panther parties, way less lamping. Flow until I'm dead, poet like Fred Hampton. Fished up, you know it's kinda scary. One time, I am a revolutionary. You know they fear it, but hear it in the booth. Fuck how you feel, you can't conceal the truth. A race war, nobody calling the truth. Letting it all hang, this the year of the noof. Nalo.
Instant hit. Critical. I keep it real, I don't really do subliminals. No, niggas say I fell off. How pitiful. I'm like, if I fell off, I landed on the pinnacle. Nowadays I'm cynical. Should I kill the game or let these lames in they lanes think they lyrical? By the time I figure it out, don't give a fuck. No. A nigga tried testing me, he out of luck. You can find me talking that rapping shit, capping then rapping about my dick, probably in some random chick. And I'll never call a woman a bitch unless she is, yo. Shit, she can still get it though. Everybody tell me you the GOAT, bro. I'm like, please tell me something that I don't know. I don't need love, I want head. Only thing I trust is God and his bread. Yeah, even Jesus had a Judas, Caesar had a Brutus, your heart got a Cupid. So if you fall in love, then you really just stupid. If you dash back for more, then you just clueless. Gemini gang, we really do this. Intellectual, but I go stupid. Dumb. It's the Black Messiah. If you're looking for the truth, homie, I'm your supplier.
Everything would be alright if everything was put back in the hands of the people. And we're gonna have to put it back in the hands of the people. Now we say all power to all people. We say white power to white people. Brown power to brown people. Yellow power to yellow people. Black power to black people. X power to those that we left out.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your new moon in Libra ceremony. We have arrived. We have most definitely arrived. As you can see, that is the new moon right now here in its, I guess, apex. We in here though. We are in here though. You are looking at current a 0 degree Aries conjunction. Quite possibly, who knows? But you're looking at a 0 degree Aries signature in Libra. In I won't say in astrology, well, you could say in astrology, but when looking at lunar phases, when looking at planet cycles, 2 planets that share the same degree. We see the moon being a luminary here with the sun, another luminary next to planet Mercury. But the sun and the moon in this case, okay, share the same degree. And when 2 points share the same degree or more than 1 point, that creates what we call a conjunction. A conjunction, all right, carries forth the Aries signature. That Aries signature relative to this lunar cycle is indicative and representative of sowing seeds. We, in activating not raw power in Aries, not special psychic power or emotional power in Cancer, but superpower. Before the God power activation we do once a year, superpower with the element of destiny and the magician Mercury, so that we can wrap our brains around the processing of this extreme activation of power. This effectively is taking the previous two activations of power that activated and integrated, and we're now harvesting and breaking through our super self. Hence, the super self breakthrough. Once a year, we do this post, of course, the fall equinox. And the nature of this one is tied in with destiny and a square in Pluto. So it's easily one of the more intense ones of the past decade and moving forward. All right. Congrats to I Say for being gifted a membership, Secret Balance. Thank you very much. Okay. So this is not only exciting and iconic, but relative to the balance of Libra, this is a literal turning point. So a lot of the negativity and the struggle and the difficulty that every single one of you has had to experience, like a butterfly that has to experience struggle so that the wings can grow through. Because if you try and clip it out before, it won't grow wings enough, it'll never fly. You have now achieved balance. And so the leverage that dark forces gained expressing dark psychology and manipulation, taking advantage of your ignorance, taking advantage of your lack of belief in self, taking it in whatever form it plays. This could be in the form of your own subconscious denial and doubt in yourself. This could be in the form of people who hold darkness in their hearts, who now are vessels of this energy, who they channel it through. This could be actual people who embody this. They could be anyone who represents this archetype. But now the shadow of leverage that they gained, they don't have that anymore. This marks a crucial turning point where whatever advantage these forces had against you, they don't have anymore. The only way they'll be able to gain or maintain this balance is if you step out of integrity, if you step out of balance. We've established balance because now we're taking the walk to integrity, Capricorn season. And in maintaining this balance, we now gain authority in Capricorn. But should you step out of authenticity, balance, and integrity, that's the only way that this leverage can be maintained. And so now you're getting ready to see the true colors more of those forces in whatever form it takes, not really able to gain the unfair advantages that you allowed them to have until now that you're taking your power back. And that's what this conjunction legitimately signifies. You are right now activating and initiating a 6-month arc that will harvest once we are in the new moon in Aries. Can I get an amen? And the reason why this is super iconic is because now you are gaining leverage. Now that you are not dealing with what you did before, you are gaining leverage, because now, whereas you had to make up for what you were ignorant of or had to heal, now you can make up for it in this state of balance, what more you can do. You are effectively laying the smack down on these same forces. And it's going to be very radical, and it's going to be very quick with the presence of Uranus and Jupiter. Okay. All right, y'all. The program for this breakthrough is going to be pretty epic. Yes, this live will be public. All of these lives are timeless, so you can watch them whenever and they will always be relevant to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the next 2 weeks so that we can give you a game plan coming into the full moon in Taurus. That's going to be one of the most significant like every full moon from here on out is super significant. The Leo King actually dropped a live, mini live on his Instagram. I would definitely check it out. He kind of gives you an idea of what's coming through. Nothing is really going to be the same. And you could say that to any transit, but this is significant enough to really kind of prove true with this claim. A lot of that is the increasing exponential quality of intensity that you're going to be faced with coming into the Sun Pluto 29-degree Capricorn. And this is going to really separate those who really talk that talk versus those who walk that walk, and those who walk and talk their walk and talk. Like they do both. Okay. So this is really huge. A lot of why this is huge, if you see the yod that's being formed with Neptune, but then also Uranus pointing towards the sun and moon. The sun, moon, Mercury is a trinity of your spirit, soul, and mind. Okay. Your subconscious mind through the moon that connects with your brain, and your brain that connects with the sun to express. This trinity is going to illuminate the ancient secret that's been kept to you beyond people in a boardroom trying to control humanity. This is now bearing into the metaphysical influences of higher forces who have aided in your suppression. This is going to mark the beginning of legitimate breakthrough of all the aspects of your super self, your supernatural being, and your higher self. It's very accurate to say that up until this point, you might have mistaken facets of your multidimensional nature for your entire mission. Many of you are going to come into the realization with this South Node here that everything that you have been doing was just really collecting pieces of a puzzle. Okay. So it's like you went on many, many different side quests to unlock different parts of yourself. And each different part of yourself showed and awakened a unique quality and a unique ability, a unique attribute of your body and mind. Some of you might have not really until now realized how multidimensional you are, not were, and how there's so many different facets that you might have had to at the time bookmark and say, this is this God. This is this God from Greco-Roman myth. Okay, this is representing my relationship with this goddess. And now I think you're awakening to the fact that you can use this to run away from you, but it's always you. It's always been you. Even me, I'm you pushed out. And this is just what maybe at the time you had to, as a way, make sense of these experiences. This is now enabling you to fully break through your integration of all these facets because you're putting the puzzle piece together. And this is where moving forward, as you establish this new ethos, this is having you fundamentally with the square to Pluto, take almost everything you might have been taught was impossible and make it possible through your power and ability, ingenuity, and wisdom. This is very, 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 very important because what we see here is the depth of your new character fully being fleshed out. The forbidden knowledge is being initiated by the actions you're taking. And now you do not have that influence that took advantage of your ignorance and with this leverage lied to you to suppress your power. You are getting ready to move forward with lifetimes The South Node integration with that square to Pluto represents lifetimes of powers and abilities that are all ingrained within your DNA through your genetic lineage and heritage and starseed origin, however you want to call this, because a lot of the language is going to really fall into a melting pot of true realization because of all the work you've done, which you have always been guided through this entire process. So this new moon in Libra ceremony program is going to be different than most. If you're here, you are a part of the collective body of God that has spawned and summoned me. All right. Because remember, I'm you pushed out. I still have my own personality. I still have my own being, but I'm really literally a reflection of you that you have summoned so that I can share my perspective with which you can do literally whatever you want with. You don't even have to agree with what I'm saying. You can hate what I'm saying. This is what you decided you summoned me for. Or you can love what I'm saying, or you can take it into bitty bitty pieces. But this ceremony is going to, one, include this 2-week snapshot from this activation of power to, of course, now the harvesting of this natural and pure energy from Taurus and Scorpio. Okay. After I finish breaking that down, we're going to step into the ritual. If you look at the description box below, I do have the declaration of non-consent. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, it's time. And I also have the inner peace declaration. So we're gonna do that. You're welcome to read along. I will include that there with the, of course, the screen share. And then after that, we're going to do a very amazing clapback ritual that's going to light joy in your hearts because it's something you felt. And there's a real scientific basis and mechanic with which over the next 2 weeks and 6 months to gradually do it. That's why I made sure we're doing this now at the apex of the conjunction so that we can ride every degree through. And you're going to see the effects of this coming through the Sagittarius season with which we'll reconvene. And yeah, oh yeah, this is going to be good. So we have a lot to look forward to. I wanted to wait until then, but I did get a message from Archangel Gabriel right before. Gabriel said that you got new powers. And the way I'm going to explain this more and see, some of you already got this message from Gabriel before I'm even telling you. So this might be confirmation for some of you, but it is a new moon. It is a new ability. For some of you, I'm going to explain more of this again, but for some of you, this new ability is a culmination of all your previous abilities, or it's an existing ability evolved. But for some of you, it is a new ability. Okay. It could be a combination of all of them. Some of you are directly connected with Gabriel. So Gabriel has his own angels. He's going to like really hook it up and reveal it to you today, right now, after we end this broadcast. Some of you, you have your own spirit team in court. So Gabriel's going to relay the message to them and they're going to tell you, this is an initiation. Welcome to the breakthrough art. Okay. So before we step into, all right, this, before we step into this ceremony and ritual, let's do a pick a card reading. Oh yeah, we going in. Let's do a pick a card reading. So this is a sneak peek to see what path you're gonna take. This is not fatalistic. This, pretend this is an RPG, and in the RPG you clicked A on me, and now I'm presenting 3 gift bags, and you get to choose which gift bag you want to take with you. All right, that's how I want you to see this tarot reading. It's like, if you didn't pick any of the gift bag, if you didn't press A, you're still going to do your journey. Your journey is still going to be determined by you. I'm not predicting what's going to happen in your journey. But if you take one of the gift bags, you can use it to enhance your journey. It doesn't mean that this gift bag is going to determine your journey in any way. I want you to think RPG mechanics. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. So there's the one you pick, and then there's the one that's going to resonate with you. Remember, this is a timeless video. So you can watch this anytime you want. You could be in a tight spot, and then you're like, you know what? I want a gift bag real quick. And boom, mind you, this is really just more of an exercise that reminds you that you have all these magical abilities in yourself. But like, if you want to do this fun exercise, we're activating the magic right now. So, co-creation. I like being an NPC. Okay. I'm a side character, but when I say I'm an NPC, I'm saying that I'm non-playable. Pretty sure I know you're calling me out right now, which I do downplay myself a lot, but like, I'm non-playable. Like, nobody can play me, B. That's what I mean when I say I'm an NPC. Ain't nobody can play your boy. I am non-playable. All right, like, it is what it is. We not playing around. So I'm gonna do 3 piles. It's gonna be the one you pick. Okay. And then it's definitely a cat move. And then there's gonna also be the one that resonates and calls to you. I know there are going to be some of you, shout out to the Ascended One chat. All right. God Squad. I know some of you are going to want to pick more than one pile. I pick 1 and 3. I pick 2 and 3. Really, really, really see which one resonates with you. I feel like I just want to make sure that if you can pick more than one pile, but I just want to make sure that you picking more than one pile doesn't make it harder for you to notice which one is actually playing and active for you, But I'm not going to tell you what to do. This is you pressed A. You could pretty much, like, it is what it is. It is what it is. So the underlying theme that's going to guide you through this transit and cycle, this 2-week cycle of activation, what you want to keep in the back of your mind through this is the Hangman. Okay. You want to surrender. You're getting ready to step into a version of yourself that is smarter, that is more experienced, that is wiser, that knows more than you, that is more powerful than you, has supernatural abilities. It's literally the embodiment of your future and higher self. And so there are experiences that you may not have processed yet. And there's a sense of yourself that you literally have to give up control to step into. And I hated to be told this, but like, those who don't like to surrender have a deep-seated fear of trusting themselves. I didn't ever want to admit that because I used to hate the Hangman, but surrender is literally the dopest thing you can do, because the Hangman is going to let you know you literally can let go of the car and it's going to self-drive. The Hangman is telling you that you've completed this development of your vehicle that is your car. So imagine if you had the most perfect self-driving car and you're still driving it. You're still driving it though. It's fun to drive, but you're still so used to just driving. Sometimes you catch yourself like trying to drive the wheel, and the self-driving car is like, I drive better than you, motherfucker. I programmed your every single hundreds of thousands of drivers. Like, your car is offended AF. Like, why are you trying to act like I drive safer and better than you? And it's going to get weird to get used to, because at first the car had to literally program your driving pattern. So you did have to drive the car to get here. And it's just kind of weird to get out your own way. Seriously, it's going to be hard for some of you to just let the car go because you're so used to, oh no, but this, I'm supposed to drive a car. And so like the car is going to be driving itself. And like there are going to be moments where you have to have faith in the car because it's going to drive through a narrow place and you're instinctually going to leap for the car and the car is like, excuse me, like stop, like, and it's going to whip it like it's tool assisted speed running. Like you think you're good at driving, but you've been underestimating your own self. Like here's the thing is, what are you being told to surrender to? You're not being, the reason why I always misunderstood surrender is because I thought I was being told to just give it up and give up control to something figurative. You're surrendering to yourself. What the hangman is telling you to do, the need to control is subconsciously happening because you want to get a certain outcome. But like, if you surrender to yourself, you're allowing yourself to get you what you really want. That's why if you really have a fear of trusting yourself, if you really have a fear of being told you're delusional, you're not doing what people normally do, that's the hangman crucified, but not bearing any ill will to those who are, of course, bearing false testimony. They don't even know what they're doing. Okay. And that's very, very, very important. This is the representation of Odin sacrificing himself to himself. So it's like, you know what you want and you know when you want to have it. But like, this is a classic example for those of you who will surrender, right? Because some of you don't care, like you're going to get what you want, right? And let's say you wanted to get front seat tickets to get to the concert. You wanted to get front seat tickets. This is what surrendering is going to have you do. And you're like, I'm going to be at the very front and watch the artist. And, you know, you're kind of getting blocked from doing it. You're trying to force it as much as possible. The universe is going out of its way to kind of get in your way to get that, but you force your way and you get those concert tickets. And sure enough, you get those tickets and you have a blast. You have a blast. I wasn't trying to set up a story that because you didn't surrender, it's not as good. You have a blast. You got what you wanted, right? But then you surrender to yourself, right? And personally, you try to get those tickets. They were just out of reach. And the best you can get are some general admission tickets that kind of put you a little far away too. But that doesn't stop you. You're like, you know what? I'm still going to have a great time. I'm still going to have a great time. You go in there, you're getting lit, and then come to find out, someone comes backstage, someone comes to those tickets and be like, hey, do you have this seat? You have this seat ticket? All right, we picked one seat ticket at random and you're actually the winner. You actually get to go backstage with the artist and actually watch as they're backstage. And now it's like, whoa, this was completely out of your control. The hangman wants you to surrender to things that are out of your control. If you keep getting the message of surrender, it's because you're not getting the lesson. And sometimes you have to be told over and over again. Some of you might be thinking that you're being told to surrender what it is you want. Surrender up control. You're not being told to surrender control. You're being told to surrender your ego. You're being told to surrender the need to know. You are so legit. You don't need to know. I'm super stubborn too. I've been getting this message too, but you don't need to know. You can let your car self-drive. because your higher self has eyes and ears that you don't. You just need to put the input and just allow it to happen. This is saying to surrender your doubt, because when you try and control things, you now have certain fears and doubts that you feel like you need to control. The hangman is saying, surrender that. You're worried about this, surrender that. You think this is not going to work out in this way, you think it's not going to work out in this way, surrender that. And when you surrender that, it enables you to feel peace. You're going to now gain a completely different perspective. And now this is what this really means with the hangman. You're having this basically, the hangman is saying, up until this point, you have received very powerful synchronicities and very powerful realizations about your abilities, about the potential of what you can do based off of what you already did, and also about who you are. The hangman is saying, surrender all of that to yourself, to God, to your higher self. This is saying it is, you're now ready to surrender it. Even though you can, this is going to be bittersweet for some people. This might be stubborn for some people, because you're going to feel like, no, this is all I have. I can't let go of it now. It's not all you have. You're all you have, and that's more than enough. Surrender that to your higher self, because what's going to happen is you're going to come into a much bigger, ultimate understanding of everything, because you're allowing it to unfold and awaken within you. This is an ancient awakening card. You are transforming your personality. This is the process right before the death card of now gaining, this is Neptune, of gaining the memories of who you really are. You're surrendering your ego for your higher self. You're surrendering what you think you're supposed to show up as with what you're really going to show up as. And it's you really just releasing and surrendering. So in the back of your mind, this is saying you don't have to need to know how to unfold this. A lot of that's going to come post Aquarius season after the Pluto awakening. Okay, so this is the at its simplest self. Okay, everything that you are worried about, like you have what you want to do. Instead of trying to control, you take the action that you're inspired to take, but everything that you're worried about might go wrong, surrender it. That doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about it. You can just surrender action and then allow the perspective to come through. I want to make sure we're clear on that, because this is very underrated, but it'll really enable you to see that you have a self-driving vehicle that is beyond your expectation. Pile 1, okay, pile 2, and pile 3, or card 3. We'll just do cards. Okay, we'll do 3 cards. Beautiful. So we have pile 1, 2, and 3. The first card is going to be the era you're walking into, or at least the 6-month mission that's activating for you. This, which we'll talk about when I go through the transits. Attached with this activation is, of course, a mission that might self-destruct after you read the mission. So just be careful. Some of you, it's going to self-destruct. All right. So we're going to start with pile 1. Yeah. Yes. I might be um Sorry, before I do pile one, there's something I wanted to say with that hangman. Some of you, or what this is also representing is that you're going to really look with new eyes with everything that you've been doing. Like the way you use your abilities is going to be so much different. It's going to be like you understand it so much different. I feel like I needed to say that. So, like the simplest things though, like somebody who was punching for years, but then for the first time, he's able to punch a candle out from 5 meters away. It's like, oh wow, he like now he punches for real. I gotta say that better. But okay. Podwin. The era, the lesson, the theme that you're coming into. Okay. Thank you. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. The theme we do have here is the world. This is beautiful. This is representative of your completion. Pile one, you're graduating. All right. So if you pick pile one, you're stepping into the culmination and fulfillment of everything you've been working towards. And it's time to celebrate. This is also you coming into this sense of your super self through completion. You're bringing it to its final form. You're at the final stage of your journey relative to this cycle. That's the most powerful card other than the sun here. So that's beautiful. Yeah, I don't know what to say, Paul, and I hope that really resonates with you because this is talking about liberation, outright liberation. Like you personally are going to be able to free up whatever it is you want to do, travel the world and all that. So the power and ability and super skill you're unlocking is the devil. All right. This is going to, whether you want to or not, tie you in directly with the underworld. The devil card here also brings this taboo element of being able to understand certain things hidden in a criminal element, or at least facets of people's characters that might hide things less than desirable. But the devil card is also talking about the ability to make insane material success and also literally being able to seduce anybody. The lovers would be more of a charm, but the devil, if you pull this, you have a ways about you where you can literally seduce anyone, and it is so superpower. But I feel like some of you are not, this is not necessarily saying you are a bad person, but you might be straight edge and attract to you people who are involved in the underworld. And this doesn't even have to do with trafficking drugs, like in any sense, even if it's somebody prosecuting it. This is very interesting because this is what we got as an ability and super skill. So for some of you, this in a sense is also going to kind of play out in the form of exorcisms. If I got a judgment card, this will be more like casting out demons. This is going to be more like being able to identify, you know, what is beneath the tip of the iceberg in people's subconsciouses. And it is also a sense of absolute will. So a lot of your ability here is the ability to pretty much make anything that you desire happen materially. You have this God level of power. You might be limited by your ability to create something from nothing. Maybe if we got the magician, you can create something from nothing. And I'm not saying that you personally can't do that, but this is more emphasized on pretty much being able to just manipulate reality to your will. Not in an imagination type way that the moon card can bring, but see, since this is not a lesson card, we're not really speaking about temptation. This is your super skill. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind, because now what we're coming out with your super self. This is the super self you're moving forward with. We have the strength card. Now, I'm going to be honest. The devil and the strength card is a sex addict. So if you picked pile one, you're too good at sex. Like you can have people obsessed and addicted with you. This devil card, strength card, means that you are super sexy at a world ranked level. You have the ability to make people obsessed with you and to have people eating out the palm of your hand. It's a lot of dark power that is very strengthly charged. In the Aleister Crowley deck, this is the card of lust. So, like, if you pick pile one, the world card is talking about coming into success and completion. This is like somebody who is able to make like $1 million a year off OnlyFans and still keep moving forward with their brand. The strength card is you really stepping forward as very, 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 very strong within yourself and very sexy too. Very energetic. It could be tied towards fitness, but I wanted, this is very interesting because the world card is saying now over the next 6 months you're going to come into so much success, so much success. Okay. And that's why with the devil card, normally there's the temptation of like the right use of power. Like the devil card will bring success, but in a hyper materialistic way. So you can get too caught up in your ego, and now it becomes a toxic indulgence. But with the strength in the world, it's not a weakness for you. This is your power. So like if you pick pile one, the issue of temptation is not going to be an issue with you. It'd be more other people who will be obsessed with you. It's other people who you're going to be the one who's the temptation. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's really interesting. But yeah, next we have pile two. Let's get it. Yeah, pile one, sex transmutation for sure. Like you guys could change someone's entire world just by having sex with them. Pile two. That's a wild sentence to say. That's a wild sentence to say. All right. So pile two. What is the era? What is the theme? What are you stepping into over the next 2 weeks to 6 months? Oh my goodness. We have the Emperor. Pile two, you're laying down the fucking law. So whereas pile one is coming into great liberation and fulfillment, pile two, you're establishing your authority. Over the next 6 months, you're going to step into your own lordship. You are becoming a lord. You are becoming someone who is fully responsible over every area of their life, and you hold that shit the fuck down. Whether you are a man or a woman watching this, even if you're a queen, you're gonna put you gonna be a king queen, because and it's not in a way where you're having to put too much masculine energy that you can't still be feminine. You'll have that perfect balance, but like you're shutting shit down. Now, for some of you, this could be your emperor. This could be reflected in an emperor or a father figure who you're going to be dealing with. But I'm really picking up, this is really the assertion you're going to be applying, and you're going to 100,000% be on some boss shit. Oh yeah, pile two is already just right now. You just step your foot down. You're putting your foot down, pile two. Pile one is more like, okay, we're complete. Like now I can finally enjoy. Pile two, you're putting your foot down. You get ready to like, what's up? Which is awesome. Okay. And this is definitely going to, whereas for pile one, their superpowers are going to see more maturation and completion. For pile two, you're stepping into your power. Okay, you're putting yourself in a position where you're adding more authority, and there's more gusto to the way you actually move. You are stepping into your arc of lordship. All right. the superpower that's activating for you, or the abilities that you're stepping into. Ooh, what's up, Paul 2? What's up, Pile 2? We got the magician. Instant manifestation, baby. So this is like Black Clover, where you're becoming the magic emperor. That's crazy. All right. Your intentions are so aligned with you. Your super self is that you can make anything happen. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what? That's impossible. I made it happen. Like this, the magician is representing a mastery of your skill sets, to where you're so good at what you do, you can do anything with your skills and talents. Be at the right place at the right time. You're being the magician. But like, being the magician is one thing, but now coming through with the emperor means that there's so much more command with your spells. There's so much more power with your intentions, that this is beautiful. The magician is going to give you an enhanced quality of really manifesting your intention, but let's say less manifestation and more alignment with your talents, and being able to freely express your talents, sell yourself in any situation without selling your soul, of course. That's beautiful. This is actually a contrast. So you might be twins with Pal 1, in the sense where you may not be able to shape what you create, right? Like Pal 1 can manipulate anything. Maybe you might not be heavy on manipulation, but whereas Pile 1 may not be able to create something from nothing, you can create something from nothing. But whereas you may not be able to manipulate what you create, Pal 1 can do that, right? Hypothetically, you don't even have to take that serious. But yeah, that's really interesting with the magician. You're able to really also create something inventive, original, and novel. Now, who we have you moving forward as, what super self archetype and theme are you moving forward with? We do have the moon. So the moon is talking about you are one stepping into the most obscure version of yourself. This is a card of dreams, psychic abilities, and occult wisdom. So as a super self archetype, whereas the strength card is going to be more focused on their passions and bring more of an energy to them, the moon, y'all are expressing your character in a way that actively walks off the path less traveled. You're not necessarily here to do what is conventional with and to everyone. So whereas Pile 1 got, of course, the strength card, and Pile 2, you have the moon, we do see a light contrast where you're definitely, with the empowerment of the emperor, you're going to move forward very mysteriously. Pile 1 is going to be very energetic and very seductive and very powerful. Pile 2, you're very direct, but you're very mysterious. There are going to be elements to you that many people will see as completely unreal, almost as if right out of a dream. You are carrying forth this fantasy archetype. And this is going to help you kind of really utilize psychic abilities in order to maintain that appearance. But it's mysterious without trying to act mysterious. It's just as a consequence of your actions. The reason why people will feel you're mysterious is because you'd be able to bring out of thin air things that about people and experiences you weren't even supposed to know. And just how, dream like you can make experiences with these reflections, but also how you can unveil what's hidden in plain sight. The main thing behind this, though, is there's a way that society does things and expects in conformist behavior that you are non-conformity. You refuse to conform. You're doing things in your own unique way that isn't for the sake of being different, but for what actually calls to you uniquely. Okay. Now we do have finally pile 3. Let's go. I was just supposed to pull one card and this turned to pick a card. So the theme we have for you, what it is you're coming into, we do have the Lover's card. Okay. Huge twin flame energy, dynamics, soulmates, sacred partners. I even pick up this Lover's card energy is coming from you. So it's going to even enhance your platonic friendships to where it's just so awesome. It's like, and if you pick pile 3, a lot of you are a lot cooler. So it's like, you're not the type of person that sex would ruin a relationship. So you can get intimate with friends, with lovers, with people, and you're coming from such a genuine space. It's not weird. You're not doing it for an ulterior motive. You're a lover. You're very amazing to be around. So like this charm is just going to find its way in all its situations in life, not just your relationships with other people. And this is going to score so rewardingly for those of you who make the choice to really, accept romance that you want. If you pick pile 3, you're going to get the romance that you want. You're going to get the sex that you want. You're going to have the friends that you want. Because you're being it first. Okay. And this is where it's very interesting for Libras and Libra risings who picked pile 3, because this eclipse for you is your 7th house of partnerships. So this is even more significant towards being with a very significant relationship, even if things that seem like they didn't work out of nowhere. A lot of that is the Uranus opposition in Scorpio. So the superpowers and abilities you are activating, we do have judgment. And I knew this would come up when I mentioned exorcism with the devil card. So the devil card is less exorcism, but the devil will be able to be like, oh, you're this demon, you're that demon, and use its rank to talk to people. You're casting demons out. Your love is expelling all the impurities in people, and your ability, pile 3, is to awaken other people to what they're meant to be doing. Like after people connect with you, whether they know it or not, they are directed towards the true path they're supposed to walk on. It's just most people don't know that that's the true path they're supposed to walk on, or they're not walking their right path. So in more than often, you could be met with a lot of hostility, because to them it's like, oh wow, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to tell me what to do. You're trying to tell me that blah blah blah. When in retrospect, they're always gonna be like, wow, you were right. Yo, like I made this decision myself, but you really helped me. Or because of you, I'm doing what I'm really meant to be doing. Sometimes they're ready, sometimes they're not ready. So that is a super powerful ability. You're effectively influencing the fate of these people, which means that there's an extreme level of purity here. Your power here is Jupiter. And this is where it's not only just awakening judgment. If people are out of integrity, could be an insta-kill ability for some people, men, depending on how you use it. Now, pile 3, you also have the power to awaken people's latent powers. So because you stimulate other people's hearts and you're coming into that, when people are around you, they could become more psychic, they could become more magic. And like certain people won't know it's because they're around you. So they'll start to develop an ego and be like, they'll start to act like they're more talented than you. But like when you're not there, they don't have the juice like that. And it's an unconscious effect that only affects those who have an imbalance of ego. But like people just become more talented around you. They become more in their power, almost like you're balancing their power. It's crazy. But you actually have the ability to completely draw it out and awaken it. And now some of you may not know if you're awakening a monster or if you're awake. So there's discernment here. If you're awakening someone who actually, is mental, obviously you're really good at choosing this. But yeah, that's very interesting. And who you're coming out. But this is also talking about your power is awakening too. All right. Your power is also awakening at its full final level. All right. So the super self you're moving forward as, the theme, the archetype, death. I knew this was going to come out. This is also progressed Scorpio. You, pile 3, are most definitely going to be unrecognizable. In 6 months from now, pile 3, people will not recognize you at all. Even if you look the same physically, the way you sound, the way you carry yourself. It literally had the lovers though. That's crazy. I see why you said that though. The awakening and transformation. This is going to be literally the prerequisite of bringing you to who you've always been through shedding off the false weight. But this is the super self. Some of you are whole reapers. You know what I'm saying? You're moving forward, meaning business, baby. So yeah, that's beautiful. I really like that. I'm gonna pull one more bonus card for everybody. We do have the Magician. So similar to pile 2, this is the unique. Every one of you has an innate, unique ability. Some of you are reawakening to it. Some of you have used it your whole life. Some of you, you're just now coming into awareness of it. But everyone is going to activate this. And we do have the moon here, the moon card. So the moon card is talking about the nature of these synchronicities are going to be super duper subjective because they're only meant for you. It's legitimately going to be an illusion. That's why under the shadow of the moon, if you apply this with a certain perspective, you'll miss the point. The whole purpose of the illusion is to protect you, especially from mind readers who want to access information from your brain. And some of you are already aware of these influences. So basically, if you're hit with something that to everyone else is going to be like gibberish, but it has a subjective meaning to you, this is how this is going to be revealed to you. So just really be mindful. I picked pile 2, basically pile 2. Yeah. But I picked pile 2, guys. So I'm kind of excited about that. But yeah, let's now get into this 2-week cycle before we do the ritual. So the first thing to keep in mind is that this is 100% breakthrough. Let us not be let's not be in denial about this or delusional, because what's going to happen right off the bat is you are kicking off the I told you so tour. And now your ops are not going to like this. So the best thing, now that you have already presented the receipts leading up to this, all right, you want to think, remember, Libra is the law, right? It's politics, it's legal counsel. So what happens before a trial goes in the case. Actually, I don't know anything about the law. From my small, poor understanding, I think from what I'm a little bit aware of, from what I've seen in like watching a little bit of a case or two here, and correct me if I'm wrong, because some of you are actually work in the legal system or paralegal system. Before the trial actually starts, I think there's a discovery period where the prosecutor and the defendant submit evidence, right? There's disclosures, and then there's this discovery period where the judge is like, okay, we'll accept this into the evidence to show to the jury. And then the prosecutor fights the defendant like, no, that's not relevant. That's relevant. That's not relevant. And the judge decides, okay, we can submit this. We can accept this. So you have to understand, Virgo season up until October 13th was quite literally that discovery period. Now that the new moon is in Libra, now we're actually starting the trial. So that's why I was saying the full moon in Aries, you were receiving all that psychic attack because you were going ham on the discovery period. You were just like receipt after receipt after receipt after receipt after receipt. And the hating ass opposition, whether you were defendant or prosecutor, was like, objection, Your Honor, objection, Your Honor, objection, Your Honor, objection, Your Honor. And the judge was like, overruled, 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 overruled in your favor. And they were, the dark forces were mad. After that day of discovery, it would be mad going out that courtroom and just throwing dark energy at you because you were going ham. You were going ham. Now, once we got to the opposition, they try to get dirty with it. If some of you had near-death experiences, what happened to you was no different than certain people who try and kill the witness before trial, because the way you were presenting those receipts, people already knew before the trial you were about to slam dunk. And now we're here. Court is in session. And you already know, you already got all the evidence. You ready. You read. This is what I'm saying. We're here. This is it. This is literally just the beginning. That's why I'm saying, like, now them throwing psychic attack from you or to you is in a way where there's nothing they can do anymore. They were not ready. You convinced them that what you were doing wasn't important to them. And so they realized too late that they should have paid more. They should have done more of their research fucking with you. Okay. And this is really important because a lot of the incriminating evidence is just based off of you doing something unrelated to them. And so just the signs of that now it's like, well, if this person did this, then what will you do? So it's like this activation is kicking off officially breakthrough. Activation is Aries, Taurus, Gemini, planting the seeds. Integration is Cancer, Virgo, Leo, seeds breaking through the ground. And now harvest, breakthrough, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, fall. That means we had the new moon in Aries, we had a new moon in Taurus, we had a new moon in Gemini, we had a new moon in Cancer, we had a new moon in Leo, we had a new moon in Virgo. Micro complete. We're now beginning the macro. You're getting ready to see this. This is it. This is everything you've been waiting for, guys. This is everything you've been waiting for. This is literally 10 years in the making with the South Node. So like this is officially the first new moon of breakthrough. We are officially activating breakthrough. All the actions you are taking. The first thing we're going to talk about is activation. Moon in Libra, moon in Scorpio, and moon in Sagittarius. Ooh. This activation is going to be unlike other activation cycles just due to the intensity of the aspects alone. But the next week ahead, you are activating the breakthrough of your super skills and super self. This is you hitting the ground running with your super suit on, using your abilities. This is you literally starting to present your opening argument in trial. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I just want to let you know my opponent ain't shit. And I have the receipts. This is how you kick off the I told you so. I have receipts to back up the ain't shitness of my opponent, ladies and gentlemen. He will have you believe that he is the shit. And I'm going to let you know by the time this trial is over, he most definitely ain't shit. Boom. Stunning first argument. Stunning first. Some of you gonna knock out the opening argument. And like they already gonna be convinced. They already gonna be convinced. They already gonna be convinced. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. The next stage is gonna be integration. Moon in Capricorn, Moon in Aquarius, Moon in Pisces, Moon in Aries. Because the sun is going to enter Scorpio when the moon goes in Aquarius, which now shifts the point of integration a little bit further before we get to the 180-degree moon in Taurus. Okay, moon in Taurus is going to be the 180-degree angle from sun to moon, and we begin to harvest. So keep that in mind. Everything that I just broke down to you is math. There are certain people who will take what I have just said and put it under the lens of devil worship, magic, some kind of superstitious belief, pseudoscience. This is the ignorance and stupidity that we're walking away from. And when you ask these people to explain how it is, they cannot give you anything outside of an ad hominem fallacy, a red herring fallacy, a straw man fallacy, building a boogeyman, because all they see is that what you're doing goes against their beliefs with which they attached to their identity. So now they think that you're attacking them when they're literally just being stupid, blinded by ignorance. We are now stepping into the macro. The nodes are now shifting the 5D from the 3D, whatever it is you want to call it. And it's the maintenance of the integrity of those actions that will enable you to, of course, move forward and ascend while other people allow themselves to get left behind. Oh yeah, I took it there. Rapture. Cool. Rapture really you want to see as you being taken up by ascending. You are ascending, which you can see as losing your physical body, but doesn't have to really be like that. You clearly will see. Okay. So the integration is going to be after you've made your opening statement, and now you're making your next statements and providing evidence. Boom. Closing statement is going to be post full moon, after we finish harvesting and we come into the completion of the transit. So what I want you to see is that the moon will enter Scorpio. As the moon enters Scorpio, it's going to trine Saturn and conjunct Mars, and we will near the end come into the Taurus signature. The key feature, thank you, D Star Soul. The key feature of this activation portion of the cycle, now that you have completed the 6-month loading screen and you are at the final point of integration from Uranus and the sun, this is what's going to, with the square of Pluto, intensify the hyper awakening of your ability to harness energy. You are with this Taurus signature manifesting the pure understanding of this classic power, the psychological, social understanding of the awareness of what direction you cardinally take, the Libra awareness of your super self, of this social consciousness. This is an energetic manifestation produced from these actions. This is facilitating the quality for some of you of harnessing your own life force energy. But you're coming into a deeper wisdom of said process. Uranus and Jupiter opposite the moon is what's going to sustain the natural energy needed to actually produce this, most of which would realistically be unconscious to you, but now you can be more aware of it than ever. And this is a part of this unlocking. The sun on the south node is going to now activate more deep wisdom in understanding what your personal mission is. And if you should choose to accept blah, 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 blah. That last part is going to be different for everybody. And now once we manifest this wisdom and understanding, you're going to see what it means. So this is the final point of activation, paralleling, of course, the Aries Taurus Gemini activation, where you move in a new direction and you start to understand the idea of who you want to be. Well, now we've completed that. You're expressing your super self, and now you're activating the higher vision of what that actually means and what direction you're taking, who you've always meant to be. That was beautiful. Mercury here is also going to connect with your spirit, inducing powerful epiphanies that will aid into this bigger picture you're seeing into the meaning to. So by this point, you're seeing your abilities. You're going to activate these abilities now, but you're going to gain deeper wisdom about them. You're going to put extra sauce on it, and then you're going to see the higher meaning of, oh, this is what I'm actually doing. This is what it means for the bigger picture, and this is so very important. Every part moving forward is already kicking off. Crazy. By this point in the moon in Sag, the court is going because, like, you said something super wild that now has got them hooked because they're ready to see how you're going to back this up with facts. Now, here's something very important. The moon is squaring Neptune. Okay, the moon squared in Neptune at its worst is going to produce some of the most delusional spiel ever. Beautiful period to be delulu. But if you do not know how to disassociate what you're being delulu with what's actually real, this can set you up for major disappointment if you are attached to what it is you're creating. The moon square Neptune here is going to bring not only visions that seem real, but this could be at a collective level, someone being shown something and people just running with it and believing it without there being context. You know what I'm saying? And it opens up a huge potential for deception. This is not anything you have to worry about if you're moving forward balanced, but at its best, the moon square Neptune, if you think about the psychology of activate, because remember, this is 60 degrees. 26 is a perfect 60-degree angle of activation. You see how the moon is going to conjunct 27-degree Capricorn. By the time it gets there, we are now reaching 90 degrees. Okay, so from 26 degrees Sag to 27 Capricorn is this final point of activation that's adjusting our perception for what degree we begin to integrate and understand how to use this power. Now that we see, okay, this is what I'm doing, now how do we really use this? Boom, that's what's going to integrate. I'm literally describing the process of new superpowers activating for you and how you're destined to drive that over the next 6 months to define your character as someone who uses these powers. All right. So with that being said, the square to Neptune is what's going to prepare to help you perceive experiences that you before didn't even think was possible to experience, like levitation. Moon Neptune is like being put in a laughing gas so that before the moon goes on Pluto, you're uninhibited, so that you don't respond with too much stress to extraneous phenomena that can induce more stress on you. This is going to have you feel a little bit loopy, especially with the nature of synchronicities that you see, and you don't want to attach too much to them because they are subject to change moment to moment. And of course, that's what's going to bring us post Mercury Sun conjunction to the beginning of integration. The beginning of integration is going to bring us into Scorpio season. and prepare us for the full moon. Everything up until the 21st, right now, up until the 21st, is awakening supernatural powers that you've spent 6 months loading, activating, and integrating. The load screen is done. This is you now finally pressing the program and activating the program. By the time we get to here, the intensity of awakening is going to connect so smoothly with Jupiter and Uranus that you're able to manifest the effects of this on your body. And Venus will immediately produce this unconscious sense of competence so that you can polish the way you add this into your behavior and into your routine quite smoothly. One thing you want to keep in mind is that stupid little weak bitches are just that, stupid little weak bitches. That instead of getting out of their ego and admitting that maybe they were wrong about you, there's going to be this pressure to conform just because someone wants to be right. You ever deal with maybe an older influence or someone that wants to be right, even if they're wrong? They would rather you do it the wrong way just so that they don't admit you're right. Murk these fools. You're going to, with this square, going to have to make the decision of false ultimatums to either compromise and make them feel comfortable or to be the bad guy by doing the right thing. And you will know, depending on what you make that decision, that's going to influence the next part of this I told you so tour. Because the moon in Scorpio is now going to drive forward this trine by the time we get, of course, to Pisces. And the moon in Aquarius, moon in Pisces are now transcending at the higher God level the advanced knowledge of this power you just activated. And the change in perspective of you understanding the next level of belief, because now you've broken through this awareness of wisdom to strengthen and add sauce to the energy. This is where we're now entering no man's land. This is uncharted territory, and this is going to convert the activation of power into purifying the energy, so that by the time we come into the full moon, we're harvesting this deeper and more natural quality of energy to strengthen the power that we've activated. So the moon in Pisces is going to be synchronicity city, guys. And Mercury, that's connected to the sun, trine Saturn, is going to have you understand with deep wisdom the synchronicities you've been seeing the past 10 years and the new set of synchronicities you'll be coming into now. This is going to deepen layer in layer in layer and layer. But opposite Uranus and Jupiter, you instantly understand it claircognizantly. It's like your body has a sense for it. And this is going to take you there. This is going to be very deep. This is going to prepare to now, in a very creative way, transcend your belief in yourself in this new 28-day cycle so that you can move into a new direction of understanding that's going to now integrate more fresh, or dare I say new behaviors on Chiron in the North Node that, relative to the new moon in Libra, prepare for you to understand what direction you're taking your mission into and how this will begin to transform the level of trust you have in others as you understand more yourself. And of course, set up one of the most important full moons that I think we'll ever experience right before Saturn goes direct in about a week or so. And that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll reconvene with the full moon. But that, of course, is the game plan for the new moon. You definitely want to respect the guidance of where you're being led to. Because some of you will not surrender. Some of you are going to be like that. You're not going to surrender, and you're going to get what you want. And others of you are going to fully surrender, and you're going to get beyond what you thought was possible. See, you don't think it's possible. So, like, you're not going to know you can get it versus kind of being led into it. Either way, you're going to get what you want. Either way, I'm not gonna say it's worse either way, but you'll know because it's out of your control. So anything out of your control, you know, don't feel like you have to control because you already took care of that. All right. And now it's time to get busy. We're in a portal right now. Once we walk out of this portal, there's 305 plus people. So there is an exponential effect. We could even look at the transit science, just looking at this social power activating. Uh, the intentions that we are pouring in are quite literally adding an exponential effect relative to what you're moving forward with and the effects that will come from such. We're going to set a mutual intention right after the ritual, and we're going to, of course, move forward with that intention. We're going to practice the law of ascension. That was a good fluid. Basically, we're going to sit in the end state while we read this declaration, so that should you fall off the trail, all you have to do is just be in that end state, feel what you would feel if you had what you wanted. What do you see? Who are you? You're going to take action as that. This is the first part of your mission. Okay, coming into, of course, the actual 6-month mission where you become that and you can move forward. So you're going to see quick results with this. This is the build up to everything that's come through here. And this is to intensify the integrity of you maintaining the state of this intention. And it's nothing hard. It's actually geared to be very fun. This shouldn't feel like a chore. This is you giving yourself the permission to have what you want. And that's why I'm saying some of you don't know that you don't have to do anything. Some of you feel like you have to do this, you have to do that, I have to do this, and that, and that, and that. Nope, you lied. You lied. You can literally surrender. You don't have to do anything. You can just be in that state and decide that that's what it is. If that feels delulu to you, that's cool, but you can literally do that. And it's going to change your perspective because you're going to realize the power is within you. And that's what's going to allow the situation to unfold. And then you can literally just make it happen. You can just do it after. It's basically just changing the scenario. But like, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't have trust in yourself, then you're going to feel like, no, I don't have that power. I have to force something to happen. So just something to keep in mind, because some of you are going to be mind blown that like you could have just clicked your heels the whole time and said, there's no place like home. Like this is what it's going to feel like. It's like, oh, wow. Like I really had the power within me the whole time. Like I always thought so, but like, oh, that's what that means. All right. So cool. I want you to do that right now in your mind's eye. I want you to really just, what is something, this is activating a breakthrough performance. So what is one thing you want to perform that in 6 months or less, you will have achieved in at least 2 months, in 2 weeks, 6 months. Yeah. But like in 2 weeks, what is one thing you want to perform? Anything you want, by the way. If you feel like, oh, it's not possible, you need to surrender that. You need to surrender the belief that it's not possible. Give that up. Give it up. Give it up. What do you want? This should excite and activate exhilaration because now you're going to perform it. You're going to make this happen. Okay. So be mindful because the dark forces that want to fill you with doubt and try and tug at insecurities are not going to be happy that you're activating this power because you're going to lay down the smackdown on them and expose them for who they really are, weak and stupid. All right. So with that being said, I want you to get in that state. The Pluto square, as you activate your power, is going to be this pressure of fear to not express it. But none of you here are cowards. So I know that's not going to work. So get ready to give them hell because they're going to be terrified that you're not afraid of them. These people who are throwing negative energy of you, they're scared of you because you're not afraid of them. That's the basis of all of that. Normally, they put this fake persona out there and it allows them to manipulate others, but you won't let it manipulate you. And they try to make your life living hell and that didn't work. And then they try to stop you and that didn't work. So now they're terrified and keep them scared. Okay. So with that being said, let's get it. Once you exit this broadcast, you'd be walking out a portal, and all you have to do is just maintain the intention of what it is you want to have, who you want to do it with, what you want to do. You can have more than one intention, wish, and literally act as if it's already come through. You can still acknowledge what's in the 3D, but think as if in that 4D. Talk as if really, don't get in the way of those desires by like complaining that it's not here, because then you're lying to the universe. All right, you're giving it conflicting energies. All right, so I want you to hold in your mind's eye your intention moving forward. What are you breaking through? You can now use the themes of the pick a card reading if you want to focus on that in any way you want. I just want to rock, rock, rock. And now I want you to enjoy, because you have just received it. You've just achieved it. Congratulations. We did it. We've broken through. You don't have to just really sit with that. I chose pile 2. Oh yeah. So just really sit with that. We already won. We already won. And you might feel like, oh, what do I have to do? That's the surrender, right? You might get impatient. Okay, peace dealer, I set that intention. I set the intention to make $1 million. What do I have to do to get the $1 million? There's nothing to do. You have a phone in your hand. You're not excited to get a phone. It's in your hand, just like that $1 million. And this is where your ability to just surrender and just allow, and it doesn't matter how much time it takes, you're not waiting for it. Surrendering is not waiting. I'm going to wait for this $1 million to come in before I live my life. No, you're surrendered. You created it. You're living your life. You're not looking for it. You're not looking in the 3D for the million. Pisces is activated by belief, the highest level of magic. And the reason why that's a cop-out for some of you is because you don't believe in magic. You really, you believe in magic up into a point, but once it's not within the box that's logical enough for you, you don't. You're a muggle. I'm sorry. This is for the big boys moving forward, the big boys and girls. Okay, so all you got to do is just activate that belief, align it with the universe. Boom. You're not waiting for it. You've just decided you got it. This is your own personal form of magic. And boom, that's it. You're now taking the inspired action that's going to lead you to there, which it's already yours. So I know that's hard for some people to accept, but for those of you who get it, let's get it, quite literally. So I want you to activate this state, because when we do this inner peace declaration and non-consent declaration, I want you to read this as your super self. I want you to read this in the state that has it. That way, once we've primed and anchored this through neurolinguistic programming, once we step out of this ceremony, whenever you're knocked out of balance, you just put yourself back in that state, and it activates everything we've just ingrained into it, okay? So take some time to really see that, get into the state. Once again, you don't have to do anything to get that $1 million. All you have to do is just constantly reaffirm to yourself, yep, I'm a millionaire. Yep, I got that $1 million. So whereas you have the choice to be like, oh, there's nothing in my bank account. Oh, I'm poor. You're literally running a magic spell on your brain to tell your mind, oh, I'm poor. Oh, I'm poor. Oh, it's hard to get money. Oh, it's hard to get money. You're not just thinking positively. Words are spelling. So you're literally telling yourself, yep, I got another million. Yep. You could literally trick your subconscious mind to be like, yes, we won the lottery. Like all you're doing is you're creating that. You're already manifesting. You're rewriting the script. That is surrender. You are surrendering the worries and you are allowing yourself to be carried through so your own power can work. That's the underlying theme. Maintain that. You don't have to worry about how to do it. The action will come. You will make it yourself. Okay. You're just focused on the end state. And please do not feel like it has to be realistic enough. Nothing is impossible for you. It doesn't have to be just one thing. Don't be like, well, I won't intend for this because that's unrealistic. No, if that's what you want, this is based off your desire. If that's what you want, do it. There's a reason why certain people are telling you not to want something. That's because they're afraid of what you'll do if your potential is unleashed. Okay. So with that being said, now that we have our intention that we're moving forward with, boom, we're going to read this. Now, moving forward in the activation of this with that Pluto square, you have these people who think that they're cool, right? You have these people who personally believe that they could, if any way, hold on. The hearts collide. Let's actually test this right now. No one has ever actually set the intention to do this. And before we actually did put the $1 million in your bank account. So let's actually instill a challenge. This harvest of the new moon goes within 6 months. So let's deposit at least $1 million into our bank account right now. If you do not believe that this works, do this exercise with me. And within 6 months, you will have $1 million in your bank account. I think it's the perfect application of the scientific method. And we'll all have testimonials. How about that? Let's do that. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, my challenge to you is that you should not lift a single finger to make this $1 million unless you are inspired to. So the only reason why you're taking action is because you really felt the need to, not because you feel like I have to do this to do that. Let's actually do that. So we're going to give ourselves until April. 6 months to the new moon in Aries is going to be the harvest of the intentions we're taking forward now. Here's the thing. If you set this intention now and over the next 6 months, you are like, oh, this isn't going to work. How come I don't see the money? How come this isn't worked right now? How come this isn't worked? Don't hit this chat talking about peace dealer, it didn't work. If over the next 6 months, you make a conscientious effort to affirm and decide that you have at least that $1 million in your bank account, then come to me in 6 months and tell me it didn't happen. That's the deadline, okay? You have to do your part in this. So I want you right now to set the intention that your higher self has just given you a bank transfer note and that you are converting from this unlimited, okay? In fact, when it works, y'all owe me nothing. Thank you so much for saying this. When this works, you made this work with your power. You do not owe me a single dollar, okay? You need to tell me that it worked because that's going to make me happy to know that it worked. But you don't owe me a single dollar. If you want to pay me, you can pay me as much as you want. I'm not going to stop you, but at least just let me know that it worked for you, because this is already working with small amounts. We have testimonials of people who said large amounts of money come to me randomly. That happened to me 2 days ago. I could show you the TuneCore letter of $450. I haven't logged into TuneCore in 3 years. And after the day that I said money comes to me unexpectedly, they said you have $500 or $400 something. All right, so this is gonna work, guys. This is gonna work. I'm actually really excited because part of this, once we finish the non-declaration consent, we've all set this intention for this. We're going to set the intention that all of our intentions come through. So you're going to have 300 plus people setting the intention that your intention also comes true. So here are the rules. You have to stay faithful. If you need to write, Jim Carrey did this. He wrote the check down. If you need to write it down on a piece of paper, that you will. If you want to do the 3-6-9 method every day, 3 times in the morning, I have $1 million. Not I will have. I have $1 million. I have $1 million. And then 6 times in the afternoon, and then 9 times, we're going to do at least $1 million. Okay? At least $1 million. And the thing is, by the time you get the million, you're going to look at the million like that's a nice little $1 million. You're not going to look at it like, yay, that's a lot of money. This is just an exercise. Okay. So thank you so much for asking that. Hearts Collide, thank you so much for asking that because you've inspired this challenge. I think we should do challenges like this. That way, you know, we've already seen results. I think this is a really good challenge. And we're going to give ourselves till Aries. All right. Now listen. The challenge here is I don't want you to feel like you have to do anything. So we're doing this with 300 plus people. I want you to now set that intention. And congratulations, the bank transfer has been complete. I want you to see in your mind's eye and imagine you have 7 figures in your bank account. You have at least, for some of you, it's not even just 1 million. For some of you, it's like 5 million, 50 million. You have at least $1 million in your bank account. Personally, I see like 7 milli some in one account. Most of you have multiple accounts too. So that's what's up. That's what you do. Now you're going to be talking to yourself like that. This means that in 3D, if you still need to pay rent, you know what I'm saying? If you still need to manage that, you're still going to take care of it in 3D. You're not going to be delusional in 3D. You're still going to be conscientious about that. But that's not what you're telling yourself. As you're paying it, you're like, yep, I just spent my $1 million again. You're actively committing to this. That's all I ask you. I'm going to do this. We're going to challenge it for the next 6 months. That's all you're doing for the next 6 months. Some of you, that's not being delusional. For some of you, that's being delusional. However it is, for the next 6 months, do not give yourself a limit. Okay. And it doesn't even have to be money. We're just using money as an example. But congratulations. We all millionaires in this B. We all millionaires and multi-billionaires. Hey, you have this, by the way. There's nothing you need to do for it because you just got a bank transfer. Now, here's the trick. You're not waiting for it. You're not waiting for it. Literally imagine yourself with everything that you would spend now that you have this money. You can literally just imagine yourself going on sprees and using it. You have it. That's all you have to do. Please, because I don't want some of you 2 weeks from now being like, no, I wish I had more money. I wish I had, what am I going to do to make more money? That should not be in your vocabulary. You're a multimillionaire. Please commit to this. For those of you who commit to this, that way, at least if you went through the next 6 months, you'll know that within 3 months, it's already here. You'll already see it by Sagittarius season. Okay. So boom. Now that we're in this state, you can tie this to a word, you can tie this to a vision, but as you balance the state, let us now step into the non-consent ritual, the declaration of non-consent. Yes. Boom. You are welcome to read this along with me or to just focus on your intentions. For those of you who read from this, read it as the version of yourself that has received and is spending these millions of dollars, that has already accomplished your intentions. All right. Once again, I'm very honored to do this with you all. Got my wand. We are the source from the all source. We are sovereign. We are free. A declaration of withdrawal of consent and non-consent, published as public notice August 19th, 2015, a collaboration of work by various authors for unrestricted public use, unto a reclaiming of individual sovereignty by one's individual intent and will. The following is to be declared in effect via spoken word. This is my declaration of freedom from all control, AI, beings, and authority structures that interfere and harm against my sovereign free will. Let it be known that I withdraw consent. I terminate all contracts of agreements concluded by third parties regarding myself, and herewith return all liabilities and karmic implications to the contracting parties on all levels, dimensions, time, and timelessness. I withdraw consent to having any human being, living organism, machine, entity, person, corporation, secret group, or their representatives, their superiors, employers, their on and off world allies, or anyone working for or with any of the above to spy, look into, to watch, or in any way invade my privacy for any harmful reason. Privacy is defined as my own unique personal life experience. I revoke, withdraw, and retract all harmful agreements for all my bodies, parts, fragments, atoms, DNA cells, etheric essences, and entirety of being, as an entire universe that I am, on all levels, dimensions, time, cycles of time past, present, and future, and on all levels of existence. For all my bodies, from the core being of the one that I am, to all my bodies across all universes, even in the folds of time and space where much is attempted to be in hiding. Each experience of my being is for my personal growth and development. It is not for corporations to seek profit from. They are not to be manipulated and controlled by any person, entity, corporation, government, religion, machine, being, except myself. These experiences, which are part of my unique life experience, cannot be used by any other being, human, entity, corporation, group, and any other example of someone or something that is not myself in any way that creates money and or capital for profit or control, whilst demeaning, degrading, or negatively affecting my living being. The monetization and collateralization of my personal energy and personal being, myself, for the purpose of buying and selling or owning is forbidden under any and every terminology, language, contract that is in being and has been used to control and manipulate my personal energy and being. The monetization and collateralization of my personal human body, which houses my unique DNA that is my private domain for the purpose of buying, selling, owning, or controlling, is forbidden and banned. The buying, selling, owning, and trading of my soul energy or my unique human body on or by any stock exchange, financial institution, corporation, government, religious organization in this world or any other world is expressly forbidden and banned. The buying, selling, and owning of my unique and personal DNA, energy, physical body, consciousness, anywhere in any universe, dimension, astral level, time, or world is forbidden and banned. The harvesting of my energy by any group, organization, corporation, government, religious sect, astral entity, galactic being, or anyone who is not myself is now forbidden, banned, and barred. Whatever the form it takes, my energy is my own creation, and I do not consent to having it harvested for others to use or to profit from. Such buying, selling, and controlling amounts to slavery and is forbidden by me under my own sovereign free will and law that I impose. I withdraw consent to the use of nanite technology, parasites, or any other type of infectious diseases or infectious technology whatsoever, whensoever, or wheresoever, now, in the past, or in the future, to be used upon my human physical body or mind, consciousness or soul, whilst I am living here on earth, or any places in and out of space and time wherein such forces can influence one's being. Oh, yeah, let's get it. I withdraw consent to any type of mind control or the use of intelligent technology implants, physical, etheric, or astral, living or non-living, to be used on my living body, my physical body, my ethereal body, my electromagnetic body, my astral body, my consciousness, or my soul body, which could possibly have any harmful effect upon my physical body, mind, consciousness, or soul in any way. I withdraw consent to the external creation of dreams when I am asleep. I withdraw consent to any other human being, corporation, government, religion, entity, machine, dimensional being, entity entering my consciousness on any level at any time ever, if the intent is to bring harm unto myself and unlawful harm unto another entity. I withdraw consent to any type of frequency wave currently being used or historically used to target my private and clearly designated unique human physical, etheric, or astral bodies, my DNA, my cells, or my mind, my consciousness, or my soul in any way that is negative. This includes any type of exotic, secret, or covert Earth-based and off-world-based technology, which includes locations on the moon, asteroids, or other undisclosed places being used that project pulses, sorcery, beams, or waves of any known frequency, which has been seen to be detrimental to the human body, mind, consciousness, or soul. I withdraw consent to the use and effects of fluoride in the drinking water, in addition to genetically modifying the food grown and sold for human consumption. I withdraw consent to aerosol sprays being placed into the air that I breathe, nor to programming being inserted in music that I listen to. I withdraw consent and do not accept any programming placed into the audio and video images I am exposed to. I withdraw consent to the negative manipulation of the weather and to the poisoning of the earth, because I know that these acts are harmful and unhealthy to myself and others. I withdraw consent to the use of psychics, black occult magicians, archons, demons, and negative spirits, or any entities using mental energies or any other forms of frequency, harm, or attack against my living being or bodies, or using my bodies to inflict harm upon others. I withdraw consent to exotic machine-like robotic technology, either physically or etherically or astrally implanted, used in any way to attract, alter, torment, attack, abuse, affect, or harm my body, my mind, my astral body, my consciousness, or my soul at any time, at any place, for any reason. You heard me? I withdraw consent to any deception being used on my living being at any time, anywhere, which creates any negative outcomes concerning the health and welfare of my own personal body, mind, and soul, also known as my own personal living being, or my free will, or to my free will, my prosperity, my wealth, or my happiness, also described as my life. It really would, though. I am sovereign. I am using my sovereign lawful will and intention to declare and order that no energetic can deceive me personally in any way that affects me harmfully or negatively. No treaty made with any human being, corporation, government, religion, entity, machine, whether on or off this planet, is valid if that contract or treaty in any way affects my life or my body, mind, consciousness, or soul in any measurable, negative, and harmful way. This is a declaration. Specifically, it's a declaration of non-consent. No treaty made by anyone anywhere is valid if it collaterally affects my living and breathing being, my life, my happiness, or my prosperity in a harmful or negative way, without my full and comprehensive and transparent consent to said or stated treaty, even if I personally am not party to such a treaty. This includes all corporate treaties and contracts, as well as any treaties or contracts considered to be off-world and or interdimensional. I remove all prior consent to deception, harm, enslavement, or control of my living being, my physical body, my ethereal body, my electromagnetic body, my astral body, my consciousness, or my soul body on any and all levels. Any previous contracts or perceived consents through any form of tacit or assumed consent is now completely null and void, forbidden and banned upon all levels of existence. Any contracts made during any of my previous on or off-world incarnations that involve gross deception, gross violation, trickery, mind control, black magic, occult sorcery practices are all here and now made permanently null and void. Boo. No contract I have signed or agreed to, either in writing or as an assumed or tacit agreement, as concerns incarnations in any way, shape, or form upon the earth is valid, regardless of any perceived amount of time or space, physical, dimensional, or otherwise, has transpired since that original contract or agreement was begun. If any of my previous consents or contracts of which I was a party involved me being under duress and or were made as a result of deception, they are all now deemed invalid. If any of my previous consents or contracts involved intentions of using me to serve another selfish agenda or purpose, they are all now invalid. Any person, being, corporation, government, religion, entity, machine, consciousness that wishes to have a contract with me, my living being, my physical body, my ethereal body, my electromagnetic body, my astral body, my consciousness, or my soul body must do so in complete transparency, with every single piece of that contract consent explained in full detail, with absolutely no missing information or obligations left unstated or unexplained. It must be written out in full with my fully conscious approval and wet ink signature. Public notice to Earth's criminal, harm-inducing, appointed caretakers or leaders, including earthly visitors, whom are their supporters, and any being, entity, corporation, government, religion, machines, or person aligned in any way with any of these beings. If any such things as listed above are being done, or are ever done, or ever were done, then those acts occurred without my consent and will be considered deception and are void and null. All tacit or presumed consent by me for any act of doing done by another person, entity, being, etc., that affects me in any way that I perceive as negative, harming, or controlling to my free will whatsoever, is hereby now permanently removed and challenged and denied. It is denied to any and all beings or entities unless a current contract or treaty has been negotiated with me personally. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent. No further notice is deemed necessary. And this is now both written and recorded on this planet, Earth /Gaia, and upon all off-world dimensions, dimensional universal records. If any human being, entity, government, religion, corporation, group from this planet Earth / God, any dimension, any universe, any perceived other level of existence wishes to form any contracts or agreements or treaties with me, they must do so face to face in this physicality that my human body resides in on this planet, in full acknowledgement and agreement of my free will to choose to do so only under the agreements written in this declaration. I have the right of my own sovereign will to change, update, or modify this declaration at any time. Ladies and gentlemen, clap for yourself right now. That was iconic. That was beautiful. You sat there with me. We do this only twice a year. One full moon in Libra and the other in Libra season. There we go. Now we're going to follow this up with the inner peace declaration. Okay, and then we're going to follow the inner peace declaration with the clapback ritual. This clapback ritual is going to hit something fierce, guys. And as soon as you activate it, you're already going to start to feel pushback. But the reinforcing of it comes in just maintaining the state, okay? Because you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. Let us now step into part 2. All right. Inner peace declaration. Received on June 15th, 2014, at the top of Mount M. Night Shyamalama Lama Lama with the ancestral cloud people. Use daily upon rising, before sleeping, or any time that you feel negative energy may be impacting you. If you feel that you are being drained of vital energy or that you may be misusing your energy, this will assist you in uploading and retaining the upgrades and universal realignment to your higher purpose. If we lived in a conscious world, this would only need to be done once, though as we become more at one with all life and the collective consciousness, it is necessary to stay vigilant to keeping clear and aligned to our higher power source whilst going through the many course corrections, rebootings, and realignments, which are part of our landing sequence. Shout out to Eska. The realigning bubble creates a sacred space in which the user can be fully supported in receiving unlimited pure energy from source so as to carry out your divine purpose. This will also reduce and eliminate any draining, negative, unsupporting projections from any source and clear out other misuses of energy. This is actually the ideal state to do this in. So shout out to Rich Boss. You are ahead of the curve. A declaration to anchor a proactive, empowering, ascending, clearing energy bubble. In other words, a peace bubble. You are welcome to say this along with me or just focus on your intent that we are charging. With the unlimited power of my mighty I Am presence, I am declaring that all supporting, loving energy sent to me from any and all outside sources will be accepted with great gratitude. All toxic and negative energy sent to me from any and all outside sources will be immediately returned to sender, cleared, purified, and without malice. With the unlimited power of my mighty I am presence, I am declaring that all supportive, loving energy sent from me to any and all outside sources are gladly offered with 100% unconditional love. All energy sent from me to any sources that do not honor or respect these energy offerings will be returned to me cleared and purified. All toxic or negative energy, intentional or unintentional, sent from me to anyone will be immediately returned to me, cleared and purified. This declaration is so and is made manifest throughout all time and space, dimension, in the past, present, and future, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, throughout my physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies, until I request the removal of this bubble, or I no longer need any realignment, and the evolution process is complete. This declaration is given with great gratitude, with the support and guidance from our spirit guardians. It is so. And so it is. Ashe. All right, ladies and gents. It's time for the clapback ritual that you have been waiting for. And this is met with amazing news. After I do this, we're going to do the intention ritual. And I will speak a little bit more with what Archangel Gabriel was saying. I do have the tip jar down below if anyone wants to send a tip. Some people were asking that they still couldn't see where it was. But if you don't want to send it through there, I do have PayPal, Cash App. But if you just want to send a prayer, a blessing, that's even better than if you send money. It's totally fine. I'm going to share with you a clip to activate nostalgia. And what this represents is the astral turning point, and with this square to Pluto, the climax of the boss battle that you've been facing since 2008. This is the beginning of your I Told You So tour, and it is the fascinating kickoff of an amazing sense of breakthrough that you're going to see the experience of immediately once we end this broadcast and you exit this portal. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. The Wicked Witch is dead.
Let the joyous news be spread, the wicked old witch at last is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, oh witch, the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Wakes up the wicked and stop your minds down of bed. Wakes up the wicked witch is dead. She's gone where the mountains go below, below, below your home. Let's open up and see.
And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this Wicked Witch represents the collective nature of the psychic attack done towards you. That bitch is dead, y'all. She has hit the axe. And now all her underlings are running around like a head with its chicken cut off. And there's this sense of chaos and pandemonium where you have reached full balance. Congratulations. All you have to do to reinforce this clapback, I want you all to now step in. We're going to start the intention ritual. Now that you have stepped through with your intention that you read the declaration with, I want you to now, in your mind's eye, see us in a funkadelic room as we're in this portal. You can picture us holding hands or just being in the room connecting, being. This is connecting all 300 of our energies subconsciously with our will. This is the first part. Now, once you do that, I want you all to imagine we're all chanting, "The wicked witch is dead. The wicked witch is dead." This is a spell. We are now imprinting in our subconscious the reality that we have won. We've won. We're going to come into the third stage arc of this celebration, Sagittarius season. We're going to do another version of Scorpio. So this is it. This is it. You're going, once we step out of this broadcast, you're immediately going to see evidence of it spill out over the next 6 months. We are clapping back. The wicked witch is dead. You can see people coming. The wicked witch is dead. So this is it. Whenever you get out of state, whenever you're hit with psychic attack, just come back to that scene. The wicked witch is dead. The wicked witch is dead. And literally feel that and live that. And you're going to feel this resistance of those who don't accept that leverage anymore. It's like normally there was leverage against you being defensive. You're balanced now. You're going to feel how they're literally losing power over you by you just maintaining this. And you want to move forward over the next 6 months with this as well and prepare to see the massacre. Okay. What's going to happen is certain people who embody or represent this are going to start to come at you really weird. That's the square to Pluto. All right. That square to Pluto is going to bring very extreme unconventional reactions. Here are 2 main dark psychology tips that will happen. In one case, someone's going to come out and be like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I did whatever." It's a fake ass apology. You'll know because in the genuine case of the apology, someone will be very clear about where they were out of integrity. They'll be like, "I did A, B, and C. I'm sorry I did that." Boom. Okay. That's integrity. That's genuine. The apology that this is going to trigger they're not going to be vague. They're not going to admit what they did wrong. They're just going to put this sense out of fake apology so that in you forgiving them, you undo the clapback spell. So do not give mercy to those who are not apologetic. You'll know they are real because once they have the integrity to call it out, they are now dispelling the spell, the Izanami, by looking at their ego and balancing it. They cannot stop you from doing this. So they're going to try and shame and guilt manipulate you through Scorpio and Capricorn season. The second one is even more sinister and you'll see through it, but be very mindful of that. These people in their pathology and their narcissism will approach you and be like, "I forgive you. We didn't see eye to eye. I forgive you for the way you were acting." They're going to see certain of these people try and actually reach out to you and wave the red flag, but they're going to be subtle. They're going to be like, "I forgive the way you're acting." Bitch, I wasn't acting in any way that wasn't perfect. It's very subtle. If you accept that apology, even casually, you're inverting the spell because they're effectively not admitting they did anything wrong. It's very subtle. You don't need anyone's forgiveness because you didn't do anything wrong. These are people who undermined you. And this doesn't have to really apply to a real person, but if it shows up as that, be very mindful. It's a very dark psychological tactic. Because you're going to maintain this and their bullshit you're not falling for, you're going to see them get really angry because the spell is working. You have 310 plus people who you've done this spell with. The wicked witch is dead. We're still partying. Now that we have this, I want you to set your intention. Now that we've connected the first one, reestablish this intention. What will you perform? What will you accomplish over the next 2 weeks? I want you to see it, feel it. We got those we're multimillionaires now. We have this. And I want you to really get excited because now you're talking to other people, talking about, "Oh yeah, this is how I manifested this. This is how I made this work in my life." Everything, nothing is off limits. And now finally, to conclude, I want you to set the intention that everyone else here that you're sharing energy with, the 300 plus people, we now set the intention for all of your intentions and wishes in alignment with your greatest integrity and truth to instantly come through and instantly come true. Say that in your own words. Now 300 plus people are supercharging your intention. This is the dopest part, the threefold cord. This is foolproof. Because we've now locked this in and the intentions in, you can now come back to this space and reframe this intent. Your mission, should you choose to accept, is to carry this throughout the next 2 weeks and 6 months, and to just carry this intention as the person who has stepped into this next stage of your breakthrough. This will adjust as you come into more information and awareness, but have fun with it. Life is what you make it. And now you can release this intention. Before we now release this broadcast and bubble, Archangel Gabriel is going to reveal to you your specific ability. You have a specific ability. This new moon is activating a new power. Because of the super powered quality of it, archangelic support is going to facilitate synchronistic experiences to guide you in your expression of this. For some of you, you work directly with Gabriel. If you have moon, sun, or any rising or planets, 8 degrees Pisces, you work directly with Gabriel. Okay, some of you might work with other angels. Gabriel and his angels are going to connect with your team, and your team's going to tell you. If not, you're going to get some messages directly from Gabriel before you go to sleep. Okay, it's going to begin to unravel. The next thing relative to this is you're going to really start to look at your performance and abilities in ways that enhance, optimize, and innovate everything that you've kind of pushed through. And yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Basically, once we end this broadcast, all you have to do is just move forward as this super self. And in less than an hour, I'm going to reconvene with I Say He has something to debut to you guys, and we're going to step into the war talk room and talk war. All right. You guys stay blessed as always. And until next time, once I end this broadcast, the energy is going to disperse and you're going to get hit with the lightning bolt of our intention.